Hi there. So I'm not very good at writing documentation. I don't enjoy it, I don't like maintaining it, and I end up not doing it. Instead of that, I tend to write scripts for everything and automate as much as I can to avoid writing documentation. If I can write one script that does 10,000 lines that then you need one line of documentation for, I'm happy. So over the years, that kind of mantra has extended to liking CI, or continuous integration, which is essentially, as far as I'm concerned, is every Git commit, build and push will get built for me and built in as many ways as I need them. I'm doing that more and more. I jumped on Gitlab a few years back and I've been very happy with that decision because they've grown and grown and grown and taking over the online Git space, and they come with a very, very good built-in CI, which is free to use and very capable. So as a little proof of concept, after the PyCon, I started putting together a CI matching from MicroPython to see how smoothly that could build everything for me and keep builds of as many ports up and running, or board configurations, to make it a lot easier for people, including others at work, to grab any board that's supported and just use it. So this is a little project on Gitlab, and it's not a fork of MicroPython at all. Gitlab's got features to automatically mirror other repos. So I've got one repo that's automatically mirroring the official MicroPython, and then this repo just submodules that in and has a couple of triggers on there. So any Git commits to the real MicroPython will get mirrored into here and built automatically. And then the CI itself is configured via the that's not going to work either. Via the YAML files, which can be either one or multiples. Really, the YAMLs are just a fairly... They've got quite good documentation, Gitlab. It's very well structured. That essentially comes down to you organise things in stages and jobs, which will go through, and each stage and job is basically just a set of shell commands to run your build. And by default, their most supported configuration is for everything to build in Docker containers, which is a much bigger separate topic, but they essentially mean your build environment's controlled and clean. Every single build you do is in a fresh environment that you're in control of, so it's all very reproducible, and you know that you'll get the same result every single time, unlike on your own computer, where if you install one new package you might break all your other ones. So the Docker's been great for that, to be able to keep them all running consistently. The CI here that's built in, it runs in these concept of pipelines, so every build that comes in, every commit that comes in runs as a separate pipeline, and it's got some nice visualizations here of everything that's building when it loads. Slowly. So I've got it organised so each of the ports will be in their own separate build stage. So you've got your desktop builds, STMs, NRFs, ESPs, TNCs. And then I think we go across. There is the SAMD ones that are available already, and then most of the tests from Travis are on there as well. But if we want to scroll down, there's quite a lot of STM builds in particular. I think there's all up, out of all the ports and boards currently being built, there's about 110 MicroPython firmwares being built every commit. And on Gitlab's free CI hardware, it takes a bit under 10 minutes to do all of that.
And they'll let you do that every commit?
Every commit. Well, actually, with the mirroring, it's running behind the scenes once every few minutes, I think. So if a bunch of commits are pushed at once, it'll just build a little batch of a few, whatever it mirrors up to in that minute. But another nice feature that Gitlab have built in is the concept of pages, which is GitHub's got a similar thing where it can auto-generate web pages for you. So a bit further over on the pipelines is another little task that each build, it'll then auto-generate a fairly bare bones web page. I'm just trying to, I don't think I've got a quick link, so I'll just see if I can. Should have bought preloaded this.
So is it demo guides?
Yeah.
Probably worth mentioning this though is that the downloads page of MicroPython also has a CI behind it. Damien's set all that up. That's ringing Travis. I want to say. Is it Travis using that?
No, the downloads page is just a line over here.
Right. But it is CI. It is being built.
It builds every 12 hours.
12 hours.
It's not, there's no...
It doesn't have every port though on it though.
Sorry?
It doesn't have every
Doesn't have
port
every-
or every board with board.
No, it doesn't. No, it needs to be approved.
Yeah.
So here we've got, this is the auto-generated web page, which is obviously fairly bland at the moment, but this is giving automatic download links for all of those builds before, so you can just grab any of them and download the latest master build for
Only the successful builds though, right?
only the successful builds. Yep. Any unsuccessful ones, you can still go back to that pipeline and look at the build logs, and it will show you what's failed. But this makes it easy to grab a current build anytime you want. Or separately to that, it also recognises tagged releases and will build them for every board and port that it can, and pushes them to the tags release page. So and they'll be there for perpetuity, well, until Gitlab shuts down at least. So that keeps them all nice and easy to access. I suppose, yeah, even just for, I'll go back to that pipeline.
It's not generating documentation, is it? We could do that too.
Yeah, that's just Sphinx or something, isn't it? Yes, that they've got some pre-done examples for the Sphinx ones. But yeah, as you're saying, the ones that have failed, which all the STM boards have got pre-configured to try and build an mboot, like a bootloader variant of it as well as a regular one, but lots don't support mboot for various reasons. Sometimes the board configuration is not set up, other times they just don't have USB. But yeah, you can click into the job and you'll get the full build log there that you can look through and quickly see what's failed to go and fix them up. So if anyone's really bored and looking for things to do, there's a list of not quite building boards that could be probably fixed fairly easily.
We've already had a couple of failures and fixes relatively quickly. So a few of the STM32L0s are right on the edge of running out of memory. And so I guess when this was first set up, it was using a slightly older version of GCC.
It didn't quite fit.
It didn't quite fit, and so we had to upgrade GCC, and it just squeezed in below that limit.
Yeah.
But that also meant that we learned that compiler was a problem, so we can at least handle that when people complain about it. And
Absolutely.
recently the ESP32...
Yeah, the ESP builds broke briefly as like within Jim's new support for the multiple IDF versions, which then just prompted me, so we've got builds for each of the like three configurations for both IDF3 and IDF4 available now.
Oh, okay. I didn't realise that was already built. Okay.
So that's in, and I assume it works.
So you're doing both the Tiny Pico, you're doing...
Yeah, so we've got your generic board, the generic Spy RAM, and the Tiny Pico boards.
But both 3.3 and 4.0?
Yes. So feel free to try them. Please do try them
I didn't
and
know, yeah.
see if they work.
Great. I was going to try to do it myself tomorrow. So.
And then, yeah, even the desktop ones are quite fun. You've got Linux of like regular x86 or ARMs for Raspberry Pi, and you've got your OS X and Windows builds there ready to just download and run, which is lots of fun for writing and running tests on a PC. But that thing's just building and running itself now to a large extent.
How long did it take you to set up? Like, obviously you've been working on it for a while, but...
I've sort of just been, patching away at it, like a few hours here and there really, but then I've been using Gitlab CI for a fair while now, so I'm sort of very accustomed to it, and a lot of the auto-updating framework I built for my little MicroPython PyPy packages a year ago, and that repo has been quietly building away without me touching it ever since. It just keeps building new versions of MicroPython and pushing them up to PyPy, all hands off. So I sort of reused a lot of that auto updating.
Does that happen every commit?
No, every tag it'll push a new version, but every commit there'll be a master build that is then available for download if anyone wants it.
I just know that with PyPy, every time you push a new version, like the JSON file grows that you have to download.
Yeah.
So if you push hundreds and hundreds of versions, you've got to download.
No, it's certainly not pushing the master builds up, because
Yeah.
it's only tagged releases. Yeah, there's a bit of scalability of PyPy that's a bit of questionable. But yeah, so I like automating things. It's a bit weird, but I'm passionate about CI. I know not that many people are, but
It's great.
once it's up and running and it keeps running, it means a lot less effort to keep things working. I guess you already know that from MicroPython and Travis and things that are built in there. It helps stop a lot of broken stuff being accidentally merged. So it really does improve the quality of build systems and projects in general.
Yeah, I've got like a personal goal to at least test some of these devices after each build. So run some tests on the devices.
Yeah, that's one of the other really awesome things about Gitlab is they make it quite easy to add hardware-linked build runners. So you've got your free Linux-backed sort of build machines in there that you can just use, but you can run your own copy of the CI runner on a computer with your own hardware attached to it, and you could have just say an extra couple of jobs there that are actually running on your computer and running things on hardware, and they'll report in the same pipeline whether that works. So it's very easy to have hardware linked builds also tested and run every single commit, which we're doing at work for one of our projects, well, this project. And that works good, especially it varies with MicroPython, with PyPy, or other things like that, just to run code on your desktop, running it live on a board and getting the result immediately. And that can just feed straight back into your build jobs and pass-fail with unit test.py in MicroPython lib. Works quite well.
Cool.
Good, very cool.
That's probably
That was it.
more than enough.
That's good.
But yeah, feel free to ask questions if you want, and this is, yeah, it's on public repo, so anyone can look at it and copy it and pinch as much of it there as they want, or not.
Thank you.
Yes.